The moment the alarms start ringing, you realize this is not just another emergency. This is the kind of night that changes everything. Episode 12 of The Pitt doesn't ease you in. It throws you straight into chaos. The hospital feels different. This time louder, faster, and more out of control than ever before. Doctors are rushing, nurses are shouting, and something about the tension in the air feels heavier than usual. This isn't just about saving lives anymore. It's about who will survive the pressure. We begin right where episode 11 left us, but there's no time to breathe. The consequences of past decisions are now hitting hard. A patient from the previous episode is still hanging between life and death, and the team is clearly divided on what to do next. Some believe they pushed too far. Others think they didn't do enough. That disagreement starts to crack the trust between them. At the center of it all is a lead doctor who looks calm on the outside, but is clearly struggling inside. Their last decision is being questioned, not just by others, but by themselves. You can see it in their eyes. This doubt wasn't there before, and now. With a new emergency arriving at the worst possible moment, they don't have time to fix it. Then comes the twist. A new patient is rushed in, and instantly, everything changes. The way the staff reacts, the way the room goes silent for just a second. This is not a normal case. This patient matters deeply, and whatever happens next will not just affect the hospital, but everyone inside it. At the same time, relationships are starting to break under pressure. Two key characters who once trusted each other are now on opposite sides. Their arguments are no longer quiet disagreements. They are loud, emotional, and impossible to ignore. And in a place where teamwork means survival, that kind of tension is dangerous. As the first part of the episode unfolds, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just about medicine anymore. It's about guilt, pressure, and the fear of making the wrong choice when it matters most. And the worst part, they all know something bigger is coming. Something they might not be ready for. As the situation inside the hospital grows more intense, the cracks between the team members start to widen. What once felt like a strong and united group now feels unstable. Every decision is being questioned. Every move is being watched, and trust is slowly slipping away. The pressure is no longer just coming from the patients. It's coming from within. The new patient becomes the center of attention. But not in the usual way. There's something deeply personal about this case. Some of the staff recognize the patient, while others sense that something is being hidden. The silence between certain characters says more than words ever could. It's clear that this case is tied to something bigger, something from the past that was never fully resolved. Meanwhile, the lead doctor is forced to take control, but their confidence is not what it used to be. Every choice feels heavier now. Every second feels longer. They hesitate just a little too much. And in a place like this, even a moment of doubt can change everything. Others begin to notice, and that's when the real tension begins. At the same time, another emergency starts to build in the background. A second patient arrives, and their condition is just as serious. Now the team is split, forced to divide their attention between two critical cases. This is where the real test begins. Who gets priority? Who decides? And what happens if they choose wrong? Emotions begin to rise. Voices get louder. One character, who has been quiet for most of the season, finally speaks up, and what they say shocks everyone. They challenge a decision that no one else had the courage to question. And suddenly, the room feels even more unstable. What makes this moment powerful is not just the conflict, it's the truth behind it. Everyone knows that mistakes have been made. Everyone knows that not every life can be saved, but saying it out loud, that changes everything. As the second part of the episode builds, the hospital starts to feel less like a place of healing and more like a battlefield, not just against time, but against fear, doubt, and the weight of responsibility. And just when it feels like things couldn't get worse, something unexpected happens that shifts the entire situation once again. The turning point of episode 12 hits without warning. Just when the team starts to find some kind of rhythm again, everything falls apart in seconds. A sudden complication with one of the patients sends the entire room into panic. Machines start beeping faster. Instructions are shouted louder. And for a moment, it feels like control is completely lost. This is where true character is revealed. Some step up without hesitation, acting on instinct and experience. Others freeze, overwhelmed by the pressure and the fear of making another mistake. It's not just about skill anymore, it's about who can handle the weight of the moment. The lead doctor is pushed to their limit. This is the moment that defines them. All the doubt, all the pressure, all the fear, it comes together in one critical decision. And the choice they make will not only affect the patient, it will affect how the entire team sees them moving forward. At the same time, the personal side of the story becomes impossible to ignore. The connection between the staff and the patient is finally revealed. And it hits hard. This is not just another case. This is someone who means something to them. Someone whose loss would leave a mark that can't be erased. The emotional weight of that truth changes everything. The arguments stop. The tension shifts now. It's not about who was right or wrong. It's about doing whatever it takes to save this one life. But even with everyone giving their best, the situation remains uncertain. The episode doesn't offer easy answers. Every small victory feels temporary. Every step forward comes with the risk of falling back again. And just when it seems like they might be getting closer to saving the patient, the episode introduces another twist, a hidden detail, something that was missed before, suddenly comes to light. And that one detail has the power to change the entire outcome now. The question is no longer just can they save the patient, but have they been treating the problem the wrong way this whole time? As episode 12 moves toward its final moments, the tension reaches its peak. Every second feels heavy. Every decision feels final, and the outcome is closer than ever, but still uncertain. The hospital, once full of noise and chaos, begins to feel strangely quiet. It's the kind of silence that only comes when something big is about to happen. The team gathers around, focused, serious, and completely locked in. There are no more arguments now. No more hesitation, just one shared goal: save the patient. No matter what it takes, the lead doctor makes one final call. It's a risky move, one that goes against standard procedure. But at this point, playing it safe is no longer an option. Everyone in the room understands the risk, but they also understand that this might be the only chance left. What follows is a moment filled with pure tension. No words, just action. Every movement matters, every second counts. And for a brief moment, it feels like time itself has slowed down. Then, the result. But instead of giving a clear answer, the episode chooses to hold back. The reaction on the characters' faces tells part of the story, but not all of it. Some look relieved. Others look completely broken, and that contrast leaves everything open to interpretation. Did they succeed? Or did they lose something they can never get back? As the scene fades, the emotional impact begins to settle in. This wasn't just another episode. This was a turning point. The kind that changes how characters see themselves and each other. And just before it ends, one final moment is shown, a quiet, almost forgotten detail that hints at what's coming next. A new problem, a new challenge, something even bigger waiting just around the corner. Because if episode 12 proved anything, it's that in this world, the hardest battles don't end when the patient is gone. The pressure inside the hospital doesn't just rise, it starts to twist people from the inside. What looked like a controlled environment before now feels unstable. Like everything is one step away from breaking. In this part of the pit, the focus shifts from fast action to something more uncomfortable, the quiet damage building between the team. The new patient is no longer just a medical case. Small details begin to stand out. The way one nurse avoids eye contact, the way a senior doctor suddenly changes tone when giving orders. There's a shared understanding between a few of them that the others are not fully aware of. It creates a strange divide: those who know something and those who are completely in the dark. And that gap starts to affect how decisions are made. At the same time, the earlier case from episode 11 refuses to fade into the background. The patient's condition takes a slow but worrying turn, forcing the team to revisit choices they thought were already made. This creates a deeper conflict, because now it's not just about what to do next, it's about whether they were wrong from the beginning. One doctor quietly reviews the earlier steps, noticing something that doesn't sit right. It's not a clear mistake, but it's enough to create doubt. That doubt spreads faster than any emergency. A simple question turns into a discussion. The discussion turns into tension. And suddenly, the team is no longer moving as one unit. Instructions overlap, timing slips. And even the smallest delay starts to feel dangerous. In a place where seconds matter, this kind of hesitation can cost everything. What makes this moment different is how personal it becomes. One character, who has always followed,